Right. Okay. All right, everyone. Bless you. Good to see everyone on this March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Um, I just completed a 21-day fast. Uh, I started on February 23rd. Oh, this is a 21-day water fast only. That's what I did. Um, I started on February 23rd, and I just finished on Wednesday, which was March the 15th. Um, just to review what has happened for the first uh, I'm going to show what happened on the first day of February 22nd. I had been actually 4 days before that. I had just drank tea. So if you want to be strict and say, well, you did 21 days of water, but you did 25 days of liquid, that would have been true. Because the first 4 days before the 22nd, the 21st, the 20th, the 19th, and the 18th, I did water and tea, and to help me drink the water, because I thought I had a problem drinking just straight water, I would pacify it with a Fireball or mint or something, just to make it more palatable to drink. That's what I did for the first 4 days. But after watching some uh, YouTube videos by Jason Fong about fasting, I decided, and also Alan Goldhammer. These were YouTubers that believed in the concept of fasting with water to reverse issues of health. Um, the two guys those guys were very influential, but the two persons that were, or the two topics that were instrumental in making me do this so late in my life, 56, was number one, not only being obese but morbidly obese. Number two, I started experiencing health issues, autoimmune issues. For example, bursitis, tendonitis in my shoulder, which I could not hardly ever move at all, that I wasn't experiencing to this level, to this degree, and also severe issues with memory. So because I was experiencing this, those two doctors, Alan Goldhammer and Jason Fong, were, particularly Goldhammer, were saying that not only could it address or eating dead cells, but generating new cells and new growth in the brain. So I decided to, not just for the weight, but for memory, because I don't want to be 56 and have dementia, or 56 and have Alzheimer's, which they call diabetes 3. The last time I went to the physician, they said my sugar was 5.9, which is pre-diabetes. So I have a family history of diabetes. Mom and dad had it. Father, late in his life, in his late 70s, going into 80, he picked up diabetes. My mother has had it for 20 years, but she reversed it because of diet very recently. She's 81. But it's in my genetics. So I decided to try it. At first I was doing again just the losing of the weight, and with water and tea, it did help. But on the 22nd of February, I decided to go water fast. And read my notes here. It says just straight water. No discernible issues. I'm just going over reviewing what I did the first day. No discernible issues throughout the day from drinking the water till the evening. Now listen, the evening. Oh my goodness. Evening on the first day of the water fast. It is the equivalent to being a junkie, trying to come off crack. It was bad. It was very, very bad. You're going through withdrawals. You're going through the pain. You're going through the everything that a junkie goes through. And from the research that I've done, it's the equivalent. It's the same pleasure sensor around the dopamine. It's the same pleasure sensor that you're getting taken off of, which is salt and sugar. They have something addictive in it, and they know it. And so you go through withdrawals. You just like a junkie. I was having headaches. This was the first day. I felt like I was going to die. Almost sweating. Definitely having sharp stomach pains. Only thing that got me through, it is rough, was I got tired. I was just sleepy, and I physically went to sleep. And after I went through the first day, they usually say this first 2 days are rough. For me, it was the first day. It probably was only 1 day for me because I had been 4 days of not eating. So I was already in day 2 as far as my body was concerned, even though I was physically in day 1 of the all water fast. But I had not had any food for 4 days. So that just amped it up quick. So day 1, I was going through some major withdrawals. Major. But day 2, I had broken its vice on me on day 2. And the day I had a headache from the salt withdrawals. Because I like chips. Be surprised. I like chips. I like salt. And so I couldn't have my chips. And so, but I wasn't in the pain. And really, I was by day 2, I was surprised on how easy it was to get through the night. So day 2, no real problems at all. Day 3, no trouble still. Again, by day 3, hunger had totally subsided. Day 4, no problems as far as hunger, but I was having dry heaves. And I was struggling not to quit and just give up. That was day 4. Day 5, no problem. Day 6, no problems as far as hunger, but I was having some serious insomnia. I couldn't sleep. For some reason, day 6 and day 7, I mean, I was physically, I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed early, get some sleep. And I went to bed around 4. It was like a Sunday or something. I forget what day it was, what day of the week it was. But when I went to bed and I was sleepy, but I could not go to sleep. This went on for hours. Day 7, let's see. Day 7. Look, reading at my notes, it says feeling great, but get called in by my doctor to review my blood work. My scale says I was 449. I then revealed to my physician that I had they wanted to know why I lost so much weight since the last time I was there. I think it was like 540 or so. And I stated that I had been doing fasting, and I've been doing water fasting. And and I had forgotten I had not been taking my blood pressure medicine, and I had not taken it, and it was like 160 over 100. And she was very concerned about that, and she was not a fan of this water fasting stuff, that this new crave that's been going on, and she was being, the doctors Fong and Goldhammer were being viewed as quacks, and she was not a big fan of it. But she insisted that I continue to take my blood pressure medicine, which I eventually did start taking, because it was starting to go even higher than 160. So I did submit to that. But so she wanted, she was reluctantly going along with it, but wanted me to come back for blood work in another month, because at the time my blood sugar went for 5.7. My A1C was 5.7. And again, that was pre-diabetic. And again, that day I'm experiencing some serious insomnia. Can't sleep. Okay. Day 8, no problems with hunger really, but the days are going slow. When I watch these documentaries about these guys in prison, they say you're just doing slow time. Time is going very slow. I would agree with that. You can eat, but you can't. I mean, you're not eating, and so time is going real slow, because you would rather have some chips or a hamburger or from Wendy's or KFC or something like that. But you can't have it. But those are just cravings, but they're not something. Those are just thoughts that are being injected into your head, but it's not something that you just, I gotta have it. I got it. No, you're not going through that at all. They're just thoughts that are just trying to be implanted into your head that you just resist. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Day 9 of the water fast, I finally broke the insomnia. I think, a matter of fact, I had a piano lesson, and I fell asleep during the piano lesson, and then I went to sleep that afternoon, and just the insomnia finally broke off. You're gonna have some moments. Well, I had moments of insomnia where I just, for some reason, my body would not let me sleep. Day 9, ordinary rest, no issues, just a little dry mouth. That's something that you're gonna have intermittently throughout the fast. You're gonna have dry mouth. Day 10, no major issues. Woke up and thought I was, TMI. Heads up. I just thought I was passing gas, but I was starting to run off. And that happened. I don't know if it sent my intestines into shock, but that's what happened. It was a little concerning, because I hadn't had food for 10 days, and I'm, starting to have a little bowel issues. Again, but nothing serious. Mild hunger, but nothing serious. Day 10 and day 11 specifically. But what I was starting to experience was stomach cramps and dry heaving. One of the times I was driving, I was driving on it. I think I was on the expressway, and it was the equivalent of throwing up, but there was nothing to throw up, but I was dry heaving, and that was bad. It did not discriminate and says, well, Arthur's driving right now, let him pull over first. That's not what happened. I just started dry heaving while I was driving. I had to pull over. And what the doctor did recommend was that I get some electrolytes. Electrolytes are something, even though the body has the ability to switch from, maybe I didn't explain that, uh, glycogen, which is like maybe you had a meal that day. It is now starting to break down, and your insulin levels are high to break it down. Uh, that is food that's in your belly that you ingest or digested that day, and you're going from glycogen to fat burning after 24. It depends on when autophagy, which is the meaning self-eat, that you start eating up the fat that's on your body, that's fat that's stored. Somewhere between 17 and 24 hours, you started to go from glycogen, which is foods presently that is in your belly, to fat burning, to which is self-explanatory, fat that's on your body. It just starts eating that. So the body has the ability to eat or store, eat the storage for months. But even in that process, it does not have electrolytes, which is potassium or salt. So they strongly suggested that you get some type of electrolyte. So I went to Rite Aid. My wife went in for me and got me some electrolytes. That what I was concerned about is it had like 50 calories. And I was concerned that, am I breaking the fast? Because this electrolyte powder has some, for lack of better words, it has sugar in it. Am I breaking the fast? So eventually I went to, I still took it, still water, but it was electrolyte powder that you poured into the water. But it had some calories in it. It had 50 calories. So I was a little concerned that, am I breaking the fast? So eventually I went to someone named Dr. Berg, Berg, on Facebook, who specializes, another one of those doctors that specializes in fasting. And he has his own brand of electrolytes, and it didn't list sugar as one of the ingredients. If it does, he didn't put it on there. So, but the electrolytes did help. And that pretty much happened from days 11 through 20. I really had no issues between days 11 and 20. They were just slow days. 11 through 20 was just, once I started taking the electrolytes, it was okay. And then I would probably take it every 2 or 3 days. I still was, because I was staunchly concerned that I was breaking my fast. And it's probably nothing but internal stress that you're putting on yourself, that you are perhaps breaking your fast. And when you try to set out a goal to have nothing but water, and you have to add something to the water, then you're saying, well, I'm breaking the water fast. Well, maybe you're not. Maybe that's just something, the electrolytes are something that you got to have. So I would go several days without the electrolytes. I got to day 21. I started dry heaving some more. That's dry throwing up. And I drank some electrolytes, and it went electrolyte water, and it did subside. So I got up to 21 days. I got as far as 22 days. But then the dry heaves came back, and it came back vicious. And so when it came back vicious, because I was going for 50 days, as far as the cravings, I could deal with the cravings. I could not deal with that dry heaves, that throwing up, and you're throwing up, and there's nothing to throw up. And then you start seeing traces of blood. And when the spittle that you put out, again, TMI for those, but this is factual information. This is what happened. And when you saw that, and when you start experiencing that, you quit. And that's what I did. I would have went 50 days, but this was 21 days. Let me tell you the results. I lost 50 pounds over 3 weeks. I'm now in the 460. I'm going to treat myself to a little food for a couple, 3-4 days. I may get on back on the wagon in a week. I'm gonna do it again. I'm very pleased with the outcome. It can be done, and I'm gonna do me another 21 days. I'm gonna drop another 50 pounds as the Lord gives me strength. I'm gonna do it. You know, it's healthy for me. You see the shirt is hanging off of me. It can be done, and I have no regrets doing it. I'm glad I did it. You'll be glad. It'll be long. Days will go by long, but you can do it. It can be done, and you'll be glad with yourself that you did it, and you'll be a little disappointed that you came off, but it will encourage you to start all over again. So I hope this has encouraged someone that thought, food is addictive. They put something in the food so that you have to come back and get it whether you want to or not. They do the same thing with cigarettes. They know they put nicotine in there so that the people are hooked. And in the food, they know they put salt in there so that you'll come back. More salt than your body needs, requires, or asks for. But it tastes good. All right. That's all I have to say. Hope you all have enjoyed this and found this informational. Bless you.